elbow. We are right now 5 minutes into the action. Harris makes the tag, and this is Bill Smithson. Smithson with the right hand. He popped Dundee. Cocoa butt from outside by Sugar Bear Harris. He takes the tag, steps through the ropes.
Five and a half minutes into action as we come up on the 6-minute mark. Big Sugar Bear, man, he's a large one.
He is big.
Dundee a hard way to go.
Oh, Dundee kicked him back into the ropes. But Sugar Bear quickly back to his feet. It prevents Dundee from getting over to the corner, and the tag on Paul Ellering. Tag made, and Bill Smithson is in there now. 6 minutes gone right now.
This is not a tag match, Dave. It's a handicap match for Dundee going against Smithson and Sugar Bear. He's going to have a word or two to straighten out. Woohoo, almost.
He was close to that 3 count. Smithson almost had him pinned. And again, Dundee reaches for the tag, and Ellering says, go on back in there. Dundee's head met the knee of Sugar Bear Harris. Harris, big 301-pounder, working on a 214-pound Bill Dundee. Dundee gets a drop kick.
Beauty.
Heads to the corner. And again, Ellering refuses a tag. Dundee upset with Ellering. You can understand that. Now, Ellering grabs Dundee. Ellering puts a suplex on his own partner. That's it. Count of 3.
See how good Bill Dundee does by himself. See how good the little man does. He can't do nothing by himself. He's nothing but a Humpty Dumpty wrestler.
All right, fine. We're going to take time out here, and we're going to be back right after this. I think by now you've probably seen the incident that took place yesterday in the taping with Bill Dundee and Paul Ellering. We've got Paul Ellering here, and I just wanted to say, and that's all I want to say, is you're going to be going against Bill Dundee in Louisville Gardens Tuesday in the battle there. It was a misunderstanding, the whole thing, but you walked out on it.
Make no mistake about it, Lance. There was no misunderstanding. You people saw what your big, small-town big hero can do by himself. He can't do nothing. That's right, he can't do nothing. He probably can't even tie his boots by himself. Now, Lance, I ask you, you saw what he did. What do you think he can do against me alone? Look at that arm, Lance. Look at this body. Just look. Look at that. Look at the back. Look at the back. Look at the back. That back set a world record, Lance. You think I can't pick that little runt up? You don't think I can't pick that little runt up and set him about 10 feet up in the air? I can, Lance.
Okay,
hey, brother, you better believe I can do it, and I'm gonna do it.
You just have to prove it. Tuesday night there in the Gardens. And it'll be Rick Gibson taking on the Southern Heavyweight Champion, and we're talking about
Handsome Jimmy! Handsome Jimmy! But there's a few exceptions, like yourself, Lancer, and Rickett Gibson. Can you imagine being labeled with the name Rickett Gibson? Brother, you ain't got a chance in life from birth. Your mama named you Rickett Gibson, and you've been a loser ever since. If you think you're gonna take this belt away from Handsome Jimmy, brother, you're gonna lose again. Woo! Mushy.
That's what it's all about. See it. That got a Wild and Woolly Championship Wrestling show here today, Dave. We said right at the very beginning of it that we were going to have a board-splitting demonstration by the Assassins, I didn't really realize it was going to be exactly in the form that it took place, and neither did they.
I don't think they did either.
No,
That's
no,
absolutely right.
But our time is up, and we really are not going to have time. Plus the fact, with a situation where we end up with 3-on-1 on Dundee, I don't think Billy is. One thing I'll say about Billy, he isn't crazy enough to say I can go in, I can beat those 3 guys or anything like. He's a realist in there. He'll give any one of them a fit in there, and maybe 1.5 he'll take. But when you start talking about jumping 3 guys in there, so I assume let's take a look at the action we had today.
In the opener today, Ken Lucas going against Jerry Ralph. It was Lucas all the way. He won it in 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Rick Gibson against big Tony Eaton. Similar situation here. Rick Gibson pretty well in control of the match, and he won it in 1 minute, 57 seconds. Handsome Jimmy Valiant going against Robert Gibson. Well, in this one, Robert, his head was run into the ring post a couple of times, and he got a cut on it. Valiant was really working him over with assistance from manager Jimmy Hart over in the corner.
Mentioned that.
Not necessarily in the corner. He was all around the ring, as a matter of fact. But
walking stick.
Yeah, all of that. And finally, Rick Gibson came in to rescue his brother or keep him from getting hurt any worse, so that disqualification gives the win to Jimmy Valiant. Then the Assassins against Steve Regal and Rick Morton. Regal and Morton going pretty good against him, but then Ken Lucas and Billy Robinson with a score to settle, they jumped in there and grabbed the boards that the Assassins were going to use for the demonstration, and that one turned into kind of a brawl too. And since it was Robinson and Lucas interfering, then the disqualification went against Steve Regal and Rick Morton, so the Assassins again are the official winners of that match. Sugar Bear Harris and Bill Smithson against Bill Dundee and Paul Ellering in the expiration of time match. But in this one, it turned into 3-on-1 as Paul Ellering was upset over interview procedures around here and turned that into kind of a battle against Bill Dundee. He jumped Bill Dundee, and there's no way Bill could stay in there, as you said, 3 against 1. So the win goes to Sugar Bear Harris and Bill Smithson.
Yeah, I got to feel that you had it right, that Paul was having a bad day, man, because there wasn't any real call for misinterpreting that as slighting him. Anyhow, we're out of time right now. For Dave Brown, until we see you next week, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
Announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the Jarrett Welch Wrestling Company.